So hi, Welcome to the Noise Podcast. I'm Shane,
I'm Glory.
and we're here with.
Roar of the band Cold Night For Alligators.
I'm going to ask him some questions about their upcoming album, The Hindsight Notes. So congrats on that, by the way. How do you feel about the response to the announcement so far?
First of all, thank you. Very positive. A bit overwhelming, actually. People have been very kind. Lots of plays, features, on podcasts, YouTube channels, and whatnot. People seem excited.
Oh yeah,
Good.
the
As
album
it
is
should
very
be.
good.
It banged,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's very good.
So, is there any meaning behind the album title or cover art?
Yeah. Regarding the title, there's also a track called just Hindsight. It's the final track of the album. And the Hindsight Notes. It was our singer Johan who came up with it. He writes the lyrics, of course. And the entire album is very personal to him. Also very relatable. It had to be when it was this personal. Otherwise, it wouldn't make sense to be that personal without being able to relate to people anyway. So it was him looking back through the past years of his life, and he just dwelled on it and thought of it the past years, looked at everything in hindsight. That's is at least as much as I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair.
That's what I have come to understand from him when he's talking about the lyrics and the concept.
Mhm.
And regarding the cover, we were all about making the music talk, so it had to be very simplistic and minimalistic. We're of course a heavy band, but we're labeling ourselves alternative metal, and we wanted it to broadcast our diversity visually as well, which was why we took the approach of using colors, because we're not all about, I don't know, black and death and skulls and snakes or blood or whatever.
Yeah.
You can make aggressive music without being into that. I don't judge. We don't judge at all. If you're into that, please go right ahead. But it wouldn't be an honest show of how we were or how we are. So we're colorful persons. That's a bit too much maybe, but we're diverse people who listens to a lot of different music and is inspired by a lot of different music genres, and we thought that showing ourselves in front of colors, bright colors, in a very minimalistic way would showcase that.
I love that.
Sure.
So can you tell us a little about your writing process for this album?
It has been very different. Back in the days, or at least before the Hindsight Notes, we took an approach that was different. The other guitarist, Christopher, and I, we normally, it was like we came up with parts to songs, or maybe a minute of a new song, or 2 minutes maybe, sometimes almost an entire song, structures for entire songs, and we took them to our rehearsal space and tried them out, and used Guitar Pro as well to put them together. But we switched it up on the Hindsight Notes. We as soon as one of us, also our drummer, came in the writing process, on the same level as the guitarist. So when any one of us had, like, I don't know, half a minute, 45 seconds of a song. Very little, actually. We teamed up, either the four of us together or the two of us together, and wrote from there. So everyone collaborated from very early on all the songs, and that made the entire album, all the songs, a lot more collaborative effort. And we have all really enjoyed that. It's not like Chris and I are now bummed out about us not writing more of the album. No, it's been an eye-opener, and wonderful, a wonderful way of writing new stuff. So I don't see us going away from that on the next releases.
That's cool.
That's good. Yeah. So I want you to tell us your favorite lyric off this album and the meaning behind it.
Oh, yeah, okay. Okay. I guess that would be from the song entitled Adjust. It's not a single, but it's about our singer Johan's the birth of his son 2 years ago, which unfortunately was very difficult, but luckily ended up all good.
Okay, good.
But it was a troubled time for him, and it was very surreal being on the sideline and listening to him at every rehearsal, talking about the process, how his son came into the world, how the doctors dealt with the difficulties before he was born, and whatnot. And he wrote a song about that, and it's very emotional because we were not in it together with him, of course not. But I would never say that. But we were on the sideline, and I'm a parent myself. I have 2 kids, so and there, so I can definitely relate to the level of emotion that he had must have put into the birth of a child. So that would be Adjust.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So how'd the track list for the album come about? Did you guys write the opener be the opener, closer be the closer? Did you just shuffle it around, see what fits? What was that process like?
Oh, that's a good question. No, it was not that well, or not well, but it was not planned out when we started writing. We started writing because we cannot help not write. We love writing music, and we wrote what we felt was right at the time. So when we had enough material for an album, it was at that moment we sort of juggled the songs around, and placed them in the order they are now.
Okay.
So that was not planned. We did run through what sort of songs does an album need. We went through that process. You can't just write 10 ballads or 10 real heavy songs. At least we can. We want diversity. So we went through that. When we have written, I don't know, 6 or 7 songs, something like that, we started talking about, okay, we have these 6 or 7 songs. Maybe we have like 20 minutes left of the album, 4 songs, something like that. What does the album need? So definitely there was that process, but it was not there until then.
Okay, makes sense. Could you tell us where your headspace was at while you were creating this record?
Sorry?
Can you tell us where your headspace is at while you were creating this record?
Sorry, headspace. I'm not following.
Headspace, as in we were in the pandemic, so it was really stressful. Just that type of thing, emotions you were feeling while
Oh,
creating the
okay.
record.
Sorry. Yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
I follow. Okay. We s- uh we left it out, really. At least I did.
Mhm.
The pandemic. Uh, I guess we made the most of it and used the time that was given to us by not being able to go on the road.
Mhm.
We used that to write an album, and it made us really focused. Because there wasn't anything to do really music wise besides writing. So we went with it and was not troubled by the pandemic regarding writing the album. It just made us more focused, really.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So how do you recommend your fans to listen to this album for the first time? Should they do it in the car with friends, in the dark with headphones on? Is it a party album, a workout album? What do you personally recommend?
Uh, Whatever you prefer. I know it's a real sort of political correct answer, but uh, uh, but still, whatever you prefer, because we've talked about this actually in the band. How do we listen to music?
Mhm.
And we wanted these songs to work for the listener, no matter the situation, whether that be working out or driving or going to the groceries, whatnot, with
Mhm.
headphones or big amplifiers or speakers or whatever you prefer. When you normally listen to music, put it on. And I would say if you can find the time as a listener, if you can find the time, listen to more than one song in a row. And if you really have a lot of time, listen to the entire album when it's out. It wasn't specifically meant to be listened to like that, but that's something that I enjoy doing. Cutting out, I don't know, an hour or 1.5 hour one night with a good glass of wine or beer or
Mhm.
whatever, and with a friend and listening to an album.
Yeah.
So I'd recommend that, but you can do whatever. It's not going to break or tear up the experience if you
Mhm.
don't listen to the entire album in a
Okay.
row. So it'll work anyway.
Mhm.
I know you said that like the album wasn't like designed to be listened to like in full, but I think you guys did a very good job of creating the track list to like have like ebbs and flows
Mhm.
in the
Oh,
album
thank you.
itself. So I think that it's like an album that you should sit down and definitely like listen to front to back, cut out that hour and a half,
Yeah.
however long it is, and really take it all in.
Oh, thank you very much. As I said earlier, we did put a lot of effort into making it dynamic once we had all the songs.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Sure. Uh, it's always before we plan a song list for an album, we always say to each other, okay, it's this time of year almost. We're going to be upset. We're going to maybe get a little bit angry because we all have our own egos and our own way to structure a record.
Yeah.
But we can always make it work, and we're still friends afterwards. But sometimes it can get a little heated because we have different opinions. But we
Mhm.
made it just goes to show that we put a lot of effort into, as you say, uh, make ebb and flows, make the songs dynamic
Mhm.
to listen to. So thank you very much for noticing it.
Of course.
Mhm. So this one should be super, super quick. Off the top of your head, I want you to describe this album for new listeners in 3 words. No more, no less.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, that's difficult. Okay. Catchy,
Mm-hmm.
diverse, and personal.
Very
There you
good.
go. Those are perfect. Perfect.
So in that same train of thought, but not as much pressure, is there a certain feeling or emotion you want your listeners to have while going through this album?
An emotion or feeling? That's difficult. Maybe. I don't know if it's not an emotion or feeling, but valuing taking the time to reflect upon your own life.
Okay.
Yeah, it sounds really deep when I say it like that. But I'm sorry, but the lyrics are just designed to it. Most of them anyway. They're all, and then again, you don't have to listen to the lyrics, of course. But no, I'll rephrase it. I'll let yourself be honest to the feeling or feelings that the tracks bring to you, and live them out. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
I like that.
I like that a lot. That's perfect. That's perfect.
Cheers. It was a difficult question.
Yeah.
You answered it perfectly.
Oh, thank you.
Of course. So what is your favorite memory that you made while creating this album?
That is experiencing that special moment when you transfer an idea that's in your head, transferring it into the world, whether that be via a computer program like Guitar Pro, or just strumming it on the guitar together with my bandmates. Normally, that's a situation that only happens to me myself on the previous records, because we wrote them more separately than this one. So being able to share that, there it is. That's exactly how I wanted it to sound. That's what I'm hearing in my head, and then being able to high five the other dude and saying, yes, we did this. We translated it from our brains. That special moment, that's very special. Being able to share that.
I love that.
That's wonderful. That's perfect.
So picture this: you're on tour, you're at a gas station for a rest stop. What is your snack of choice?
Maybe a bit boring. A Snickers.
Okay.
Oh, taste. Yeah. Perfect. So on the topic of food, if the band was a dish, what dish would the band be?
That would be a velvet pasta dish.
Okay.
Ooh, okay.
Very
That
good.
sounds good. That sounds very good.
So for the last couple of questions, we're going to shift away from music and go straight to death row.
Boom.
So if you're on death row, what would your last meal be with a drink?
With a drink. Okay. That would be I'm gonna have to follow up then and say that would be a pasta dish with a good sauce and a glass of Italian red wine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So if you could live in one fictional world for a week, where would you live?
The pretentious choice would maybe be Rivendell from Lord of the Rings. And the goofy choice would be South Park, Colorado.
Oh yeah, that would be so much fun.
Hell yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah.
So I've now of asking the last question, and every single person we've spoken to have said that it is the most important question. What's your favorite color?
Red.
Okay.
Perfect.
Very good. So as I said, that's all the questions we have today. Is there anything that you would like to plug?
Thank you for listening. Thank you to you guys for doing this podcast with Cold Night for Alligators. Be sure to check out the record, the Hindsight Notes. It is released on March 4th this year. We would love if you could leave a comment or give us a play or say how you feel about what the music that we've written, what it makes you feel. So leave a comment on our socials and we'll be thrilled.
Hell yeah.
Oh.
All right. Well, thank you for now. That's been Roar from Cold Night for Alligators, and we have been the Good Noise Podcast.